Race 5 at Belmont jumps at 2:37. Bradley McGuinness's 60th birthday handicap over 1,600 metres. And we'll have a look at the most recent start of the three. Next stop, the Moon.
And towards the tail is Mrs. Hartley into the home straight. Next stop, the Moon led them at the 300. Abbey Lane joined it very quickly though, and they've quickly put 2 lengths on Tonka Tough. Stairway to the Moon, but Abbey Lane now gains the upper hand, coming to the 150. Abbey Lane 3/4 Stairway to the Moon. Tonka Tough digs in hard down the outside, but now Abbey Lane extends for Pike, and there's his treble. Abbey Lane beats...
Was able to lead there at an even speed there. Next stop, the Moon, in its most recent start. The horse did jump wide from that most outside barrier and came across, just able to find the front eventually, was able to dictate for most of that event. The field just seemed to bunch there going in towards the corner, and then the horse laid into the worst ground in the straight. So I think there was a few excuses there late. Second pick is the one in Heavenly Affair, who's now in career best form. We're seeing it coming from a fast run race where it found cover and was strong going through the line. It obviously has claims here again. Third pick is a 2 in Abbey Lane. It's been wide without cover the last couple of starts, and it's still been strong going through the line. I think the horse is just absolutely flying at the moment for Annie King. Fourth pick is the 7 in Blue Horse, who just seemed to peel out there into the best ground. Just peaked late in that event. Was a little bit stop-start, so if it can find that clear galloping room from 2, it's another horse that does have claims in what looks an even race. On top, in race 5, is 3 Next Stop the Moon from 1 Heavenly Affair, 2 Abbey Lane and 7 Blue Horse. Race 6 at Belmont, first leg of the quaddie jumps at 3:18. Gladys and Bevan McInerney's 70th wedding anniversary handicap over 2,000 metres. And we'll have a look at the most recent start of Too Close to the Sun.
Prince Halmandakai and Little Point going any further back down to the 300. Too Close to the Sun shaken up by Noski. Surges to the lead from Precious Cargo. Wild Galar couldn't let down. It started to plug, and then Mandakai Too Close to the Sun when they'd near the 150 is clear. He's riding him along 2.5 in front. Precious Cargo, but he'll bring up the race to race double here on Too Close to the Sun. Too Close to the Sun did it easily from Precious Cargo.
Returned with 2 impressive performances this horse so far, both of them being a short favourite and both of them being well supported as well, even at that short quote. But Too Close to the Sun does map here to settle in a very similar position to last start, 1 out, 1 back. It does have the ability to roll forward and take over if the pace slackens, but based on the 2 ratings it's produced so far this prep, you'd have to suggest it goes close once more. Second pick is the 2 in Bunker Buster. Again, it's hard to not ignore what this horse did there last start. It was really firm late. There was a good push for this horse on course. Settled just worse in midfield with a bit of cover, but angled into the best ground and was strong late going through the line. We saw last prep that this horse was able to reel off some really nice sections over this distance range. Third pick is the 4 in Not Again Ken. It actually maps particularly well for this event, and just on its recent figures, it should be thereabouts. Last start, I don't think it was necessarily suited. It's ended up 3 back the fence before being shuffled back to 5th last on the turn. Seemed to be just gone, but then picked up okay there, especially over the last 100 metres. It was very stop-start for that horse. And then 4th pick is the 1 in Mr. Albie, who again maps to find the front here. Whether or not they take it up, that's the question. It just seemed to be a little bit too slow up front there last start for this horse, who has been there in faster tempo races of late. On top in race 6 is 5 Too Close to the Sun from 2 Bunker Buster, 4 Not Again Ken and 1 Mr. Albie. Race 7 at Belmont jumps at 3:55. Craig Norwell's 50th birthday handicap over 1,200 metres. And let's have a look at the most recent start of the 7 Bel My Pago.
Ice Maker led at the top of the running from Ice Maker. Dia Delarazza, no run at all. City Chant coiled up behind them, trying to poke through a needle eye opening. Kennedy flat to the floorboards. Bel My Pago behind them. Excise Free can't get clear either. It's Ice Maker down to the 100, still in front. The run coming for City Chant now. Ice Maker, City Chant, Dia Delarazza, Bel My Pago late, but Ice Maker's going to stave them all off.
Got itself into a pretty handy position there early, Bel My Pago, just worse in midfield with a bit of cover, but it was bumped at the 250 metre mark before being checked again. It lost momentum at a vital stage, but it was really good over the concluding stages, the last 100 metres or so going to the line. I'm expecting the horse in a race where there does look some solid tempo up front, should be able to find that position with cover, and I think the wide barrier may well suit it here. Second pick is the 8 and Sammy the Boss, another horse that does look like it should map back in the field, and if they can make ground on Saturday, it should be strong going through the line. The horse really has been making up some tremendous ground so far this preparation. Third pick is the 2 in Paradise Square. It just wasn't suited there last start from that wide barrier. It got itself into a position right back in the field before being bumped clear by the winner in Pims Royale. Seems to map more prominently in this race. Fourth pick is the 11 in Grand Design, who Joey Azzopardi's jumping on board. Last preparation, he was able to ride this horse back in the field, get it comfortable and then unleash a really nice turn of foot late. I'm expecting they might opt for that tactic as opposed to leading as we saw last start. On top in race 7 is 7 Bell My Pago from 8 Sammy the Boss, 2 Paradise Square and 11 Grand Design. Race 8 at Belmont jumps at 4:30. It's the listed Farnley Stakes over 1,400 metres, and we'll have a look at the most recent performance of 13 Tomasa, last seen at Belmont.
To the outside, so's Neurological. Homeward bound into the straight. Spillanova's the leader, a length and a half in front from Tomasa. Back on the inside, Red Publisher getting through, and they're being followed by Sense of Power, Mad Brad, Festival Miss winding up in love with Paris coming through. At the 100 though, Festival Miss, Mad Brad, Tomasa, Spillanova fighting back, Mad Brad, lunging Mad Brad, I thought might have got the dive.
Just looks ready, this horse. We saw support come for it last start. It was ridden with intent, managed to sit outside the leader. It really kept finding, although just peaking late on the line, but I'm expecting with the blinkers on and gate 7, it should be able to put itself into a handy position early, and if the fitness levels are exactly where they should be, I'm expecting the horse will be very hard to get past. Second pick is a 12 in Snowchino. I think this horse had a few excuses there last start. It jumped well, was ridden with intent to lead before handing up, coming back into the box seat. It was headed in the straight, it fought back and just missed. Was a little bit stop-start, but it was again back in front past the post. But from gate 3, it should map to settle pretty prominently once more. Third pick is a 2 in Variation. The only major query in this event is the map from gate 11, but it was a really nice performance there first up. It found that clear room late, it was the best to the line. The horse looked outstanding physically, and it did peak second up last preparation. Fourth pick is a 10 in Red Publisher, another horse that was supported at a price. It jumped well to hold 3 back defence. It was holding that fence again in the straight. I'm not sure it was ever clear, but again, another horse that does map to improve here from gate 6. On top in race 8 is 13 Tomasa from 12 Snowchino, 2 Variation and 10 Red Publisher. That brings us to the last at Belmont, race 9 jumping at 5:10, the Crown Perth handicap over 1,000 metres, and we'll have a look at the most recent performance of Stageman.
Fast more than a length in front from Floyd Saracino on the rail. 2-length Stage Man ridden along by Pikers. Just Act Natural drops out. Don't Fuss led them at the 200 mark and with a kick. It's Don't Fuss racing away now from the stablemate. Saracino, Floyd. Stage Man is starting to jump out of the ground though late. Don't Fuss in front. The post looming. Stage Man won't get to him. It's all the way virtually for Don't Fuss.
Does look to be out and out pace in this final event over 1,000 metres, but I was very impressed with the way that Stageman performed there behind Don't Fuss. It was only a small field, but the horse reeled off the fastest 800, 600, 400 and 200, and was also the second best performance of the day behind the winner. I'm expecting the horse from the wide barrier will just be ridden to try and find a bit of cover. Would love to see it around midfield and just saved up for that finishing burst once more in the final stages. Second pick is the 7 in Danny George, another back marker who does need a little bit of luck in running. We saw last start it was angled off the fence in the straight. It just was only clear with about 100 metres to go, but it did hit the line well, and it certainly has claims on the sectionals it's been able to race and record so far this prep. Third pick is a 9 in My Demi. Just had the one trial coming into this where it just strolled up to share the lead. It was just well held there in the straight, a little bit wayward as well. It seemed to peak late, but it also was the fastest trial on the day. The horse certainly has claims on its best figures last prep. Fourth pick is a 3 in Mervyn, who I think is the best of the on-speed gallopers. It's had a bit of a freshen up, no trial coming into this, but we saw it lead at some extremely fast tempos last preparation and still able to finish off the race. On top in race 9 is 2 Stagemen from 7 Danny George, 9 My Demi and 3 Mervyn. Best bets at Belmont, race 7, number 7, Bell My Pago, race 9, number 2, Stageman. That's all from us here at Perth Racing. If you'd like to keep up to date with us, stay in touch via our website or on social media. Until next time on The Box Seat, I'm Pete Anthonus. Good punting and go well.